Hi, this is Tim. Thanks for joining us for this video. This video will cover generating drawings as part of your SI 2015 projects. This video assumes that you've already gone through the quick setup, downloaded some products, started a project, and you're ready to generate drawings. Let's get started. We'll go to the project we've been working on, and we're going to ask for a new Visio drawing. We also generate drawings within AutoCAD that will be covered in a separate video. So we'll go ahead and say, let's have a new Visio drawing. And it's going to ask me for a template. I'll choose the template I want, and it will name it for me, or I can give it a name. It's going to open this project right within Visio. So at this point, DTools is acting as a plugin to Microsoft Visio. What you'll see on the left is our project file, and on the right you'll see that we have a number of drawings that we can generate, and on the right you'll notice that there's a SI 2015 item within Visio. This is our catalog. This is actually the DTools catalog embedded into Visio, as well as a library of shapes. I'll get into the shapes in a minute. So what we can do is we can generate 4 different types of drawings, and each drawing is going to utilize the data from the DTools project in a different way. So we can generate line diagrams, elevations, plan views, and schematics. Let's start with a line diagram. A line diagram is a great way to show simple signal flow, and many of our customers present this drawing as part of their proposal package. So here's everything in our job. If I want, I can filter by location, or by system, or by manufacturer. In this case, let's just go ahead and look at what's in Office 101. So as I drag things out, you'll notice for a line diagram, we're just going to utilize the JPEG that's associated with the products. So I could go ahead and select these and drag these out, and you'll see then I can place them in various places around the drawing. And because this is just a JPEG associated, I can go ahead and resize it. If I double click on any of the items, it'll actually bring up the data window. So if I need to do additional work, if I'm looking at my specifications, these will come into play when we go to do the elevation drawing, which I'll show you shortly. And then we also track, as part of our data, inputs and outputs. And we'll utilize these inputs and outputs when we do a schematic drawing later. So the first thing I notice here is that once I have these items on the drawing, we get a Visio icon that shows up. This lets me know that these items are already in the drawing. If I go to add it again, it won't let me, which is great because that means I can't make a mistake and show things on the drawing that are not in the project. So everything is tied together. Everything from the bill of materials is tied directly to the drawing. So I see that I need some additional equipment for this room, so I'm going to go ahead and select Office 101, and I'll choose my system, and now I can add items directly to the drawing from our catalog. So I will say I need a receiver, and I'll just grab one at random here, and now I can add it directly to the drawing. Again, because we've set up accessories, it's prompting me for our accessories, and now you see that I've added a receiver to this drawing. I can also add, let's say, a Blu-ray player. Drag this out. And now there's my Blu-ray player. So I could situate these, and this drawing is just going to show our customers simple signal flow. So I could go ahead and zoom this in. These have been added to the drawing. And then what you'll notice is now they're added to the actual bill of materials. So if I chose to work visually, I could start a project and then start building my bill of materials as I'm doing the drawings, which gives me the ability to work visually and then generate my proposals, my documentation, and all of the other client reports. An elevation is really great for generating rack diagrams. So if I grab this receiver, for example, what I'll see now is a front view shape of the equipment, and this equipment is being drawn specifically to these dimensions. So it's 6.4 inches high by 17.1 inches wide. I cannot scale this shape on this page like I could with the line drawing. But I can also decide that I want to add information directly from my catalog here within Visio. So I could say I choose this rack. And now I've just added this rack to the drawing. And again, because it's based on these specifications, if I make any changes here, let's say I change the height and I change the amount of rack units, when I save this, you'll see that we've scaled the shape. So from here, if I want to just start placing my equipment in, I can go ahead and add that to a rack. It's going to snap in. If I zoom in, I could also consult my shape library, and DTools ships with a number of manufacturer shapes, from the J standards that were just created by Infocom and Cedia, through manufacturer shapes, through custom shapes. So we provide a very robust library of symbols that can be used throughout your different types of drawings and communicate professionally to your customers, to other trades, and to your team. So I could decide I would like a vent panel. If I choose to bring a shape in, then DTools will actually access my database and ask me for the specific product. So anything I add to the drawing, you'll see will become part of our bill of materials. Plan view. This is where I can visually place the equipment, and one of the functions of Visio is you could even import PDFs, images, or even AutoCAD files. Bring these in, and I can give it a custom scale. And as I zoom in here, you'll notice that I've got my floor plan. When I bring the speakers over now, I have a very specific shape. This plan view shape is, in this case, based on the J standard shapes that ship with our product, and you notice that when I bring the wire shapes out, they have their own label, and I can communicate specifically, again, as I double click and bring the data window up, I can communicate where this equipment needs to go, and I can connect it from here. So if I zoom back out, I can see that the two speakers are going in this room. I can also decide to add additional equipment by utilizing these shapes. Finally, we have the schematic view, and this is where I would connect the system, and I can visually show the connection points, and this is where we utilize those inputs and outputs. So as I add components to this drawing, let's get a nice close-up view, you'll see we have inputs and outputs, and I've got my wires. So I can connect these very simply within the job, and what you'll notice here is once I connect it on the page, these stay connected, and I can choose whether I want to have more information. So I can choose to show the shape data, and for the wires, maybe I decide I want these to be blue. I can change the weight. I can add images or text at both ends. I could do it in the middle. It's up to you. So you have a lot of options. But these stay together, and they allow me to also generate actual reports. So if I drag out more equipment here, I've got my speaker, and I decide to choose and install this, connect this, you'll see that now here's my very, very simple schematic drawing. But then when I go back over to my reports tab, I can show wire checklists, wire connections, even generate wire labels for the entire job based on the drawing. Everything here is tied directly to the data, and you can visually represent what's going on in the job. Most importantly, it helps pick up things once it gets to engineering that may have been mistaken in the quote. So the schematic drawing helps communicate to the installers what goes where. You can then generate the reports, and everything ties together. Other videos will cover in more detail some of the other Visio features that we have, but you'll see that it's very easy to create very basic drawings utilizing DTools SI 2015. Thanks for watching.